So I think to be a detective, you have to have an eye for detail. You have to really care about people and about getting to the right answers, getting to the truth. So, and keeping an open mind throughout an investigation. So I've been involved in lots and lots of investigations where you have a certain idea at the beginning, and as you gather the evidence, it starts, changing along the way. It's so varied. You've got everything from sort of fraud and financial investigations, you've got cybercrime type investigations, you've got rape and serious sexual offences, you've got murder investigations. So it's so varied, and even within crime investigation there's almost something for everybody. But as I say, a lot of your time as an investigator is spent interviewing both suspects and victims and witnesses, and those are real different skill sets. And some people have had terrible harms happen to them, and sometimes by the people who are closest to them, and that can be really difficult for you as an investigator to deal with as well, and sometimes really harrowing things. So not just visually, but listening to some people's accounts of the things that they've had to live through, and the lives. I've interviewed people who've had almost parallel lives to me, been the same age as me, had parents the same age, and they've had the most terrible things happen to them. And it gives you a sense of, just how lucky you are and to have had the life that you've had. So yeah, it's a real privilege for that people open up to you and they tell you their stories, and that you can help them and guide them through what can be, the criminal justice system can be sometimes quite awkward for people to navigate their way through. So just helping people to understand it and to feel that they've got the ability, the strength, the confidence to actually give their account, to tell you what's happened, and for them to get, hopefully seek justice for them. To care about what they do, to care about the people that they're dealing with, to respect, the families and the wider circumstance. So, if you're dealing with a child protection matter, there's such incredible sensitivities around those investigations. Have the parents caused harm to that child? These are really delicate things to have to manage, and you have to make some really difficult decisions. If you're involved in making applications to remove a child from their parents because you think the parents pose a risk, these are challenging things to have to deal with. If you think a partner's or husband or wife has killed the other, these are. And sometimes for families that can be an enormous thing for them to have to deal with. So you have to really care, and you have to really take and have that sensitivity around those types of investigations. Like I said, an eye for detail. You have to really unpick and almost hear what's not said in the investigations, and just take, I guess, just being motivated by the right things, just seeking justice for people, and where people have been wronged and been harmed, just doing your level best to gather as much information as you possibly can to present the strongest case to court. Rewarding, definitely.
And why is that?
Because I think I look back, or I think back of the people's lives that I've touched in sometimes very small ways, and yeah, I just think it's incredibly rewarding to think that you've had that impact, whether it was helping them to find justice for some terrible thing that's happened to them. Even if justice wasn't found, just giving them the courage to go and seek justice, because even for some people that's such an enormous thing for them to have to do. And just being there for people in their darkest moments, and sharing those moments with people, and just being that face of policing, I guess, in some of those really challenging times.